Hello and welcome to the very first official community Frontline. I hope you guys can hear me, since I am now completely live. Welcome guys, welcome. My name is Rts Overhaul and I'm today's host, as usual, for my own stream. The audio is good, I read, but I also hear some complaints about the microphone. Yeah, I understand there's a bit of buzzing. That's something I'm still working on, guys. That's the lighting should be better now at least, but in terms of the microphone, it should be not too bad. But if it's really bad, give me a moment. I will try to see if I can fix that up a bit for you. I hope, is this any better, guys? This might be actually a little better, because now I increase the static a bit, or decrease the noise a bit, or it should decrease the noise a bit. So let me know if this is any better. So perfect. Great, so now we can really start. So welcome guys, thank you for joining me today. Today we're going to, as usual, I'm going to play the game, and at the same time you guys get the space and the room to ask questions. I can share a bit about 1.08, which is the upcoming next update, and feel free to ask any questions. It doesn't necessarily have to be related to 1.08, because if I do not know the answer to the question, I can just write it down and make sure that it will be, for example, answered in the upcoming other type of stream with Read the Rap Yarn. So what did I have for breakfast this morning? That was bread. Yes, that's an excellent question to start with. Excellent. It's if it's gonna be questions like that for the entire stream, it's gonna be perfect, guys. Perfect, I tell you. So I hope I did something right. Yes, I did. So I'm gonna start up a battle, and I'm gonna read the chat a bit. So if I look to the right, that's because I'm actually reading the chat. It's on my second screen. And I've got a lovely little sun on my face, nice and warm. So first off, I want to say something about 1.071. As you know, we introduced in this update, we introduced a new semi-automatic rifle sounds. We heard quite a bit of complaints that the sounds may not have been unique enough. So Rito Colding actually had a look at it. And from what I understand, in the upcoming update 1.08, he's made some small alterations which should hopefully better distinguish the various semi-automatic rifle sounds. So they sound more unique, and you guys are better able to tell the difference between these sounds. So we've been reading that feedback, and we hope that these changes will better, come to a term what you guys like. So that's something at least I wanted to share, because it's important that you guys know that we do actually read what you guys have been discussing about these sounds, and we had some great feedback, some great positive feedback about the sounds as well. Everybody really liked them, but there was just some doubts about how easy you can tell them apart. So that should hit with 1.08. I can't really tell when that's going to hit live yet, but it's currently in QA land, as I so like to say, which means that QA is trying to break everything and getting the developers to fix it, and then they break everything again, and the developers are going to fix it again until it's ready for release. So yeah, another thing is, I already see the question is the FPS drops, when that will be fixed. We're still looking into that. I still see a lot of emails coming by of people investigating the issue and checking what might be causing it. As of yet, we haven't really found the exact reasoning yet, but we are still trying to figure that out, and once we have an actual more information about it, about what the issue might be or what we can do about it, we will of course let you know. So right now, unfortunately, I do not have a large update about the FPS updates, but optimization is of course a continuous process. So because I see a lot of complaints here. Please optimize the game further, but that's something which is being done continuously with various aspects of the game. So that's definitely being worked on. I see here the big fortress is done yet. No, the fortress Brest is not done yet. There's still some assets to be finished, but as I said in the last stream, we do hope at some point in the near-ish future to open up the prototype server again, which allows you guys to play one of the new maps, or at least look at some of the new maps to see what you guys think and if it performs as you should. For Juggernaut, what will be in 1.8? Well, I can't disclose everything, but one of the primary things which should be interesting is that we're also retouching a bit how the planes are done, or at least, for example, the landing of the planes is going to be a bit better, and we're going to have a look at the P40. But along with that, we are looking into implementing a new set of planes, which will be pretty neat, I think. Don't have the names exactly right here, but we are definitely, hopefully, implementing 3 new medium planes for each faction 1, of course. So we're gonna have another set of planes to play around with and to mess around with. So it's basically just gonna be more like the tanks. You have a wide variety you can pick from and use if you want. Where is he? So that is something I'm personally looking forward to. Some new unique sounds for these planes as well, of course, and well, I really love the sound of the P40, but the new planes which are going to be implemented also have some, of course, unique characteristics and sounds, and they sound pretty neat. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. In the meantime, well, 1.08 is being released or being worked on right now, of course. I already see the questions. Yes, the tank system, the tank overhaul is definitely being worked on as well, so have no fear. It's just a bit of a larger project, so meaning that it takes a little bit more time to get into the testing phases, and but it's definitely being worked on, and hopefully we will gradually release more content related to the armor overhaul as well. A lot of it is in testing phase, and a lot of it is still being developed and designed, so a little patience, but it's definitely on its way. Ooh. Wow, that was interesting. So I'm gonna leave the squad because I'm gonna play a bit solo to see where I end up. I see here a question about the tanks. 1.08 will not contain any specific changes in related to the armor overhaul. Well, sort of. It's not. It's going to be an addition to the vehicle collision system, which has been adjusted in 1.071, and there's going to be not some changes in the collision, but the changes to how this is notified to you in terms of, you know, when do you impact what, and that's going to have also some new sounds, so you can better distinguish what is actually happening around your tank when you're, for example, in your tank and not in the commander hatch. So but for the rest, for the armor overhaul, there's a pretty big chunk right now which is being worked on, and that one is not ready for release yet. So, and yes, there will definitely also, as far as I'm aware, there will be a more elaborate normal dev stream which will highlight everything which we will add in the next update. So there's definitely going to be a lot more details about that. And part of the armor overhaul is actually also looking again at the various anti-tank equipment and how they can better fit into the game, or how they can be better balanced into the game. So have no fear about that. I can't say specifically this is gonna get nerfed, this is gonna get buffed, this is gonna get changed, this is not gonna get changed, but it is one of the things which is of course being looked at in combination with the armor system overhaul itself. So, but the new maps are absolutely being worked on. It's a lot of work, but Rito Deshu has not been allowed to leave his cave. We have him hooked onto a chair and he's working as fast as he can, and the asset designers are working as fast as they can, and hopefully we will have a prototype session like I said, so in that case you guys can see around what has really happened and what progress has been made and what you guys think of the actual designs. If you haven't noticed yet, Rito Deshi also made topics in the map talk forum on the official forums, where he elaborates, for example, on how the Brest Fortress thing is designed, and how to what he thinks of it and how he thinks the flow should work and how he generally makes maps. So that is, if you're interested in how these maps actually come to place, definitely have a look in the map talk for him, because he shares some pretty interesting stuff on what he actually does there. As for the in-game vocal chat, if it's coming soon or not, to be honest I have no idea, but that is one of those questions which is quite interesting for Rapjarn's show. Come on. So that's actually, make sure to ask that during Rapjarn's show, because he's able to answer such questions a lot better than I can, since he is the game director, so he generally knows this stuff a little bit better. And oh no, I just at King Denise, the repair cost, it's basically yeah, you may say that it may seem silly, but it's a good way for credits to sink in, because or else you would just get infinite credits and it makes the game incredibly easy for you. And we do want some sort of challenge, and we also want that if you use like heavier equipment which is stronger on certain aspects of the game, that you pay more for that. So yeah, that's a bit of the balancing done here. In regards to the RTS overhaul, I have heard the news. It's currently in testing phase, that the entire RTS part of the war server, because the war server does a lot of things in the game, like statistics and stuff like that, it also does that, but it also does the RTS, that's also part of the war server, and the entire code for that had to be refactored. And currently, and no promises on anything, but currently the RTS code has been reworked. That means nothing for you has actually changed, so it's not a visual change for you guys, but it means the code has been rewritten, which we need to do in order to at some point add new stuff to the RTS. So that is currently in testing phase, which means that the developer who was working on rewriting the code actually has made significant progress in that regard, and hopefully the tests will iron out. There's maybe some issues which will look at these issues, and hopefully we can get that live. But once again, this may appear in 1.08. It does not have any visual changes for you guys. The RTS will still be exactly the same. It's just that for us the code has been rewritten so we can actually extend on the RTS at some point. And I'm just gonna close this a bit, second. Just gonna change the lighting a bit so I don't get blind. I hope this is, yes, this is much better. In regards to, have we talked about artillery? At some point during the game, which is a long time ago, we had the mortars implemented, but it has been decided that we currently do not have a known way to implement this in the game without absolutely destroying the gameplay and annoying everyone. So we are definitely, if you have a brilliant idea on how you think it could be implemented in a fun way, so that people actually won't be incredibly annoyed by getting hit by a random mortar, be my guest and share it on the forum so we can forward it along. But up until that point, there's currently no intention, or it's not in the design or production phase to implement mortars. And at Jeffrey, I definitely want to ride the tractor as well. The tractor is gonna be awesome. I mean, I already found the civilian truck quite funny, but the tractor is another step. So, hey, where am I getting shots from? Now I just need to heal myself. And yeah, I see a lot of questions about the maps. Once again, guys, it is being worked on. I unfortunately simply do not have anything big to share on it because they're not done yet. And but I believe somebody has just forwarded this general concern directly to some other people, so maybe we can share in either a blog post or some other form of information. We can share something about how these maps are looking right now and where it's heading. But I personally, for this stream, unfortunately do not have any information to share. And what badges I currently use on this character, I think it's Heavyset and that's actually a good question. I'm not sure what I use in combination with this at the moment. It could be, I don't think it's fast reload. I'm not sure actually what I'm using. I'll let you know once this battle is over. And generally I use my most preferred badges personally are Heavyset and fast reload. Don't ask me why, but I just like the combination of it. But yeah, there's many other badges you can use. But for me, fast reload is I really like that on most guns, even on for example the semi-automatic rifles. I like to reload fast, but there's plenty of other badges to choose from. If there's any news about making this game more clan friendly, well, it is of course true that clans play a very large part on the RTS map, but and in general I would say that currently the focus will be not specifically on clans, but on general content which can be used by everyone and which is a lot of fun for everyone. Such as, you know, an RTS overhaul does not necessarily have to implement, for example, specific clan futures, but it can be used by everyone, and clans will still play a big tactical role on that map without actually implementing any clan specific functions. So that is currently a bit of a bigger focus, to reach a wider audience than just the clan members, because relatively speaking there's not a huge amount of people playing in clans, so does not mean you guys are unimportant, but it also means that general content with a wider audience can have the same interesting effect for clan players as well as other players. So I'm scared. There's dead bodies everywhere. Oh dear. Hold on. I'm gonna kill him. Am I? No, I'm not. Hold on. Oh my goodness. That was bad. Yeah, I'm in trouble. So, will new weapons for infantry be added during the next year? We will definitely still like to implement a lot of new weapons and also new vehicles, but right now the focus is really on the armor overhaul. So in terms of the armor overhaul takes up most of our resources at the moment, which means that a lot of these developers who usually also have the capability of implementing, for example, weapons, also have right now other stuff to do in regards to the tank overhaul. So but yeah, who knows what will be next after the tank overhaul? That's once again, that's I think a question which Rito Yepron will be able to answer a lot better. His stream are gonna be a lot more oriented also about the little more distant future. I mostly talk about what is happening on short term, what are the people in the office really doing, and yeah, I hope to better communicate that to you guys. I can tell that the leaderboards, which I see a question about right now, are currently being designed. So that is definitely being worked on. Hopefully, there's a couple of people also working a bit on the leaderboards, and I'm quite looking forward to seeing the results. Unfortunately, I cannot really show you anything about it yet, but do know that it's being worked on. Where is he hiding? Are there any plans for competition? Well, the leaderboard is going to be, of course, a sort of a competition if you look at it in a certain aspect. I mean, it's always for a lot of players, it's always fun to be somewhere on the top or be on a good position, and implementing a leaderboard could also open options for checking stats more easily. So, sun in my eyes. There's someone in the water. Ooh. Where is he? I'm scared. New customizations such as camouflage is also something we still have a lot of skins for vehicles, but also for soldiers, which we would still like to implement. But once again, it's currently not really a huge priority to get that ready. So I'm not really entirely sure what the status on it at the moment is, but it's definitely. Where is he shooting from? But it's definitely something we would like to add more in the future, definitely. So, out of curiosity, what's my ping? My ping on this server, this is for me the Moscow server, which means I have a ping of 50, and because I'm streaming, it peaks a bit, sometimes to 60, but generally this is a perfectly playable ping for me. And I'm also running some, actually, I know where my ping is jumping. I'm doing something wrong. Hold on, this should increase it, decrease it. I'm also running a lot of stuff in the background right now, so my FPS is suffering a bit of that. But generally, I don't feel any lag or anything. I wonder where he is. There's one. Let's see. Zero, as in regards to the Recons, once again, it's something I would like to share a lot of details about what the plans are for the weekends, but I also don't want to make any really false promises, because some of these things haven't really been set in stone yet. But I do know, for example, that it's being looked into the weekend only maps, but it is really a bit longer term, and there's some other changes in regards to weekend to making them having the ability to play different roles and not just be snipers. And in regards to the top 5 issues, I know I said in the last stream that I would go into more detail about that during this stream, but unfortunately some of the people I need are still on vacation, so I will have to wait a bit, wait until the last people get back from vacation as well, so I can get the right answers for you guys with all the details that I would like to include. So it's not just a vague answer, but a concrete answer on where we currently stand on that, which I unfortunately cannot really provide right now. What is shooting at me? And why does it light? It hates me. In regards to losing warfronts on the map, to be honest, I think that's also a bit of a tactical thing, you know. Me, for example, I do also play on a private account. I also have assault teams, and yes, sometimes I lose something because I poorly manage my assault teams, but generally I tend to earn on my warfronts. It's all depends on how you use them, and how you send them into battles, if you only attack with them, if you only defend with them. Of course it also depends on how they're being used, but losing warfronts, I understand for some players it's a problem, especially since there's also a fairly large amount of assault teams on the map, but losing warfronts or gaining warfronts I think is also partially a tactical thing. Very easy. Oh, he's probably gonna kill me in my back or something. Where are you? Where are you, Mr. Soviet? He's above me. Or is that a friendly? Yep, he was above me. Call 911. I don't think map development is going to stop anytime soon. So if we're gonna get Russian maps, tank only maps, recon only maps, there's a ton of other maps which we would still like to implement. So the map development is pretty much settled for life. So don't worry about us completely stopping map development once we have released like Russian maps. There's a lot of maps which we would still like to add, so don't worry too much about that. It simply takes a fair amount of time to in particular create assets. But right now there's a large series of assets being created for the Russian team maps, and that allows us to create, hopefully with the same sort of assets or the same type of assets, we can create multiple maps. Do keep also in mind that testing these maps and getting all the bugs out of the way and actually designing these maps is pretty time consuming, but it is definitely continuing. Yeah, the problem with the old maps is the way they were designed, and some of the problems they had are really simply not compatible with the new systems for map development and stuff like that. So unfortunately there's not much we can really do about that. Now where's the other one? Ah, there. And where's the other one? Ah, that. For I see the city maps are pretty much a different project entirely from what I have understood from Rts, but like for example right now that there's a lot of Russian themed assets being developed. Wow, how did I not see him? There are Russian themed maps currently being developed, which means that once these assets are done we can release or we want to release a series of Russian themed maps. What province from the Netherlands I'm from? I currently live in Zuid-Holland. So, but I have also been in the office for quite a while. So, but currently I'm streaming for home. So, yeah. I know I have a very Dutchy accent. North Africa on the map is definitely also something we would like to add in the game at some point, but we're again talking probably long term. Right now really the focus is on the things I have already mentioned a bit, which is simply a time consuming process, but it's gonna be pretty neat, I think. I haven't really been able to get to QA land yet and have a go at it as well, but it's very promising. Where is he? Ah! Behind me! It's no fair. No fair. The plan is Juggernaut, and more will be announced about that soonish. I think is that my stream will be pretty much bi-weekly, and once again I will be focusing a bit on short-term stuff, and Rita Rebjorn's stream, where he basically also takes questions from the chat, will also be bi-weekly, which means that every week there is going to be a stream, and besides that we will also still have the dev stream as you know it, to talk about new stuff being added to the game. Yeah, I really can't see anything. There's too much sun in my face. It's not nice. It's great lighting, but the sun is killing my eyes. Where are they even entering from? So there's one inside here. Ah, he's third floor. Now he's going downstairs. Yeah. Juggernaut, for now it's just focusing on the actual vehicles of Armor 2.0, so actual armor, of having them get specific stuff, like model damage. I'm just gonna close the curtain a bit more. I hope the lighting is gonna be sufficient still, but or else the sun is really gonna kill me. Ah, it seems to be fine. Which actually leaves me with, I'm gonna start a giveaway, guys, since it's already 10 off. I got 20 to 4. So that is the wrong one. I don't need this one. Where is this? Aw, did it close itself? It did. Hold on. I'm just gonna start up the giveaway. Give me a moment. Let's have a look-see. Yes, there we go. And I see the chat, so guys, I'm gonna start a giveaway. The command is going to be !Frontline. I hope it works because I tested it with myself and yay, I won. But I hope it works with other people as well, so I'm going to start the giveaway now. So once again, this is !Frontline. And I hope, yes, it works, or it seems to work at least. So !Frontline if you want to join, guys. No radio hate, you cannot participate, you bad boy. Bad boy. Once again, !Frontline if you wish to participate into the... What is... Did I do something wrong? I probably did something wrong. Oh wait, hold on. I'm just gonna reset it. Whoop. And now I'm just gonna whoop. Hold on. Just a sec. Working on it. 1 second. I know I'm being AFK. Forgive me. Join permission is everyone. This feed. Okay, let's see if this is any better. I hope it works. What? That is odd. That is very odd. That it doesn't work, but I need to disable that. Give me a moment. Yes, there we go. Apologies guys, sorry it took a little longer. It should work now. Aw, no fair. I guess that's my punishment for going AFK. Now I hope, let me see, where was it? We parked it somewhere around here. Nope, it's not here. So I'm just gonna let it run a little while longer so everyone can participate, because it didn't work so well before. So guys, if you entered before, keep in mind that I reset it, so you have to re-enter. So but it seems to be working now because there is a ton of people on my list. So I've got yes, yeah, it's still going. I still see names popping up everywhere. So I think it's about time to pretty much stop the entries. Yes, I'm going to stop the entries and I'm going to pick a winner. Unfortunately, I haven't set it up so you can actually see this screen, I think, but it should announce it also in chat. Arxonta S62, you have won. Please type something in the chat. And if you have typed something in the chat, which you hopefully do, Arxonta. And yes, Arxonta, you have talked. Just please get in touch with Rito_hates, and he can provide you your reward. I see a lot of complaints here because of the slow mode. That's definitely something I will look at for the next stream, because the slow mode shouldn't be that bad, but it seems to be that way. But I will look at it for the next stream and make sure that it properly functions for everyone, including the other weird ass things it just did because we enabled random stuff on our Twitch channel. Yeah, apologies for that, but next one I'm for sure get it fixed so we can have a proper giveaway. For now, I did see that roughly 100 people actually participated, so whew, bad, ow, ouchie. Aww, it's over in 40 seconds. And I'm so gonna die here. He's probably waiting for me somewhere. This is never a good sign. Ah, well, it's over anyway. Hector, if we're doing anything in regards to increasing the amount of players, that is something of course we always want, so we will always be looking at that and increasing the amount of players, but also bringing back old players and stuff like that. And this is of course also partially being done by actually just implementing new content, such as the armor overhaul is a much requested thing by not just new players but also old players, veteran players, so that will hopefully also bring back some players. Just checking. To prevent high tier spam in the armor overhaul, I'm not going to go into very much details about that yet, but the idea is that a certain system will be implemented which will make sure that you will actually, I wouldn't say well, partially, not necessarily forced, but you will be encouraged to use different types of tanks. So hopefully that will also bring a bit of a use to, because right now everybody gets the first tank and then they buy a new one and they never use the old one anymore. And it would be nice for us as well if players are like, now I want to use this tank and now I want to use this tank, so that you have a more diverse amount of tanks on the field, which can be used. They want me to play. Do you want me to play tank? I can play tank. I will try to switch in battle. See if that. In regards to the squad points, as far as I know, there's no plans to increase the amount of points, but there's still not in production at the moment, but there's still some other stuff which some people would like to do to the squad system to further improve it. So what the actual increasing of points so you can have more auxiliary seats is, as far as I know, not planned. Titan of War, as far as I know, of course, it's not very natural if you have 10 tankers because you want to play with each tank. So, well, it is of course you can have multiple tankers. The idea is that you can use the tanks which you want on one single character. So it's not like we want you to have like 40 tankers, which you have a long list in the game where you have to select the right tanker. Let's see. I hope the sound isn't too bad. Please let me know if it is, because it might be a bit noisy inside the tank. Frankly, it's probably the same way as it was in real life, noisy. Let's have a look see quickly if any tanks appeared already. Doesn't look like it. Which is very interesting. Because I do think they have tankers. Looks, yeah, they have armor squad. The question is, where are they? Is he inside the building? Is he next to the building? Where is he shooting from? This is still very difficult to see with the sun, but doing my best here. So, thank you. Where did he go? Little cheeky bastard. I have a feeling I'm going to get flanked soon, pretty soonish. Yeah, sure, I can increase brightness, but I think. So, is this better for the stream? Oh, he was literally right next to me. Yeah, lightings are I mean, if I see lightings, yeah, well, you can spend HP on it as well. It's cheaper as a bazooka, I think, but you can also just grab the pencil house, but it's a bit risky to do that. But this is also not the most optimal line on this map to play a tanker, I have to say. fairly interesting that he mines our own side. Ah, come on. What? Come on. Where is he? Ah! There's someone behind that rock, I think. Ah! It's the same guy again. He's chasing me now. It's a bit overkill on RTS to use heavy fighters against light tanks, but yeah, you could technically do that, yeah. Let's see if he's somewhere around here. He probably is, but don't think I fit there. Big fat tank. The Steam achievements is, do you mean the cards and stuff like that? The Steam cards. It's something I've looked at a long time ago, but honestly I don't think we even have the time or the resources right now to look into that, or at least to implement it. Unfortunate. Where did you get shot from? This time I heard him. He's probably gonna come back again. Time to relocate. Boom boom. Yeah, he's here again. Oh, we're out of tanks. We only had like 3, I think, so. The new planes are part of the 1.08 update, I'm the Flying Cow, and when that is going to be released I cannot yet tell. It's in QA land at the moment, which means that it's being tested, and yeah, we will have to see what comes out of it. So it shouldn't take months anymore, but ha! It's him! He's camping there! Took revenge for my tank. Ooh. Ow? Oh, no. At local Sam, this is not actually a dev stream, so while I do share stuff about upcoming updates, this is not only showing new content. And I think I currently may have oh no, I don't. I don't understand why everybody says stop nerfing Germany. I mean, I understand you find that the German side has issues, but we haven't really touched any weapons in a good while now. So the stop nerfing Germany doesn't really apply here because we haven't really started in the first place. What the? Where is he shooting from? Oh, he's still there. How did you survive that? Let's see if they pop their faces out. They're in there somewhere, I guess. Oh, they're fast. Advisor to in regards to the G43, I play a different faction each time I stream, and I have played the German as well, and I also play with the G43 there, so feel free to watch how I handle that weapon. In that regard, I don't find the semi-automatic rifles to be handling that much different. I'm not saying they're identical, but they each have slightly different negative and positive effects, but in general they're all quite easy to handle. It's not good that we lost it. It makes it a lot more difficult. Yeah, but I don't find the G43 sights that bad either. Actually, it's different, yeah, but with the G43, it's quite easy to aim specifically as well. So. The Car 98, actually, well, what I out of the three bolt action rifles, I would say I actually prefer the K98, but then again, I mostly prefer it because of the sound. Um, During night, it can be quite difficult to see with the K98K sound, but then again, I mean, you can always put a scope on it. Of course, I use most of these weapons in combination with a semi-automatic, so I don't necessarily need just the iron sight on that weapon. Come on, life isn't fair to me. Yes, I have actually used the MG42 quite recently as well. I think, what faction did I play first? I think last time I played Soviets, which means next stream I'm going to play Germany again, and I have pretty much all weapons on there, including the SCG, which is so much being complained about as well. But and I tend to play or try to play all characters during the stream, and I think MG42, especially with tight grip, is perfectly. It's you can do some serious damage with it. Oh shit! Now where did the other guy go? He was here. Oh, he went into the corner. Actually, I think there's a medkit here. Yeah. You don't have to use tight grip, it's kind of an option. But I think what most of you guys want is it to go back to basically its old form, which means that it can be used on any range with any accuracy, and that's, yeah, that's simply not going to happen. And yeah, then there is the idea, of course, to add the bipods, but the bipods are currently on hold because it had some issues which are not that easy to resolve. So, but I think once again, and I've also stated this on the forum, and I know there's a lot of complaints about, in particular right now, Germany. I generally don't think the complaints go back to the weapons. I think they go back to the RTS, which is pretty much how it has always been. Same with the US and the Soviets and whatever. If you keep losing on the RTS side, you start to think there's something wrong with your weapons when there is not. But you blame these weapons and you blame your gear when in fact, where the hell? When in fact that is, in my opinion, not always the reason. Oh, come on. Don't come to me about time to kill, because once again the chance that you meet another player and you start firing at the exact same second, in the exact same millisecond, is practically non-existent. So the fact that time to kill simply does not necessarily matter in a game. That's why I mostly play with the semi-automatic, and yes, I do prefer a bit of rate on fire on that. But the MG42, for example, is of course automatic. So in terms of spraying my bullet somewhere, there's a chance I kill more with that. But I don't personally think that time to kill helps anything. It doesn't really matter. For me, it's important that with the semi-automatic rifles, for example, that I'm able to fire my second shot relatively fast before he walks, for example, around the corner. Because especially when I engage with these weapons on a bit longer distances. But the time to kill for me absolutely does not matter. Adnan_S, it's my most preferred combination of roles on every faction. I like to play with the semi-automatic rifle in combination with a one-shot rifle. It's what I like the most. I don't know why. It's pretty fast spawning, so and I use it in combination with the fast reload badge in this case. And I don't know. I just really like the combo. What's coming here? Oh. Wait, he didn't die? I thought he died. Ooh. I mean, in general, the weapon balance is always being looked at. So, but it's also, I mean, we look at it based on statistics, but also on feedback. And well, some of the feedback we simply are not as constructive as we would like them to be, so to speak. So, but the general weapon balance is always being looked at. This is a continuous subject in every game, and there's never going to be a perfect solution, because everybody always will want their guns to be a little better, or always think that their guns are a little worse. Oh. Did he die? Come on. Ah, come on. Getting shot at from everywhere. That looked pretty enemy-like. Where did the other guy go? Oh, he might have died. Oops. Somebody just crashed. There's a lot of them on that side, it seems. That's a friendly, okay. Come on. Let's see. They're all hiding inside, I think. Oh, no, he's in the corner there. Interesting. It's quite a decent pilot. Guys, I think there's a lot of valid questions. Unfortunately, I can't answer them all right now, but be my guest to post these questions on the forum so I can collect them for example, the next stream, which my stream will be in 2 weeks again, and maybe there will be a dev stream next week. I'm not entirely sure. So yeah, it's best to ask those questions for now on the forums, because I'm already way due my time, which I should have. So did my webcam freeze? So I'm going to stop my stream. Be my guest, please post these questions on the forum so I can have a look at them. There's already a topic in the general development feedback called something like community frontline feedback, and you can ask them there, and I'll have a look if I can answer some of these questions for the next stream. And if I can't answer them for the next stream, maybe we can also shift some of these questions to the stream with Rts, who generally is able to answer a lot more of these questions which are right now being asked. So thank you guys for watching. I'm just gonna finish my battle, but I'm going to stop the stream, and hopefully I will see you guys in 2 weeks, if not next week, because there might be a stream next week. I'm not 100% sure yet, but we will probably announce it on the forums. So and in the game and on Facebook and Twitter. You can also just subscribe, and you can also of course watch these streams back. So yeah, thanks for watching guys, and see ya next time.